On March 3rd, 2020, Officer Legacy went for a welfare check at a quiet house. At first, all seemed normal, but on the second knock, a woman's scream shattered the silence, signaling a looming tragedy.
She's on the ground.
Who is it?
My mom! Someone broke in the back window.
All right, hold on.
She's on the ground.
Where's your mom? Okay,
No, there's so much blood. No, please!
Man!
She's in the coin now! No!
Stop! Hold on, we gotta figure out what's going on.
1300.
Can you sit down? Can you sit down?
Oh, no, get that 32 roll. Get quick. We got a female down.
Take her outside.
Come on. Okay. What is your name?
Sydney?
Are you cut?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you're cut somewhere.
I don't think so.
Yeah, your hand.
No, I was helping her. I grabbed her.
All right, stop. I tell you what, can you sit on the ground here real quick?
Dispatch.
Come on. Come on.
Just at the ground.
Yeah, you're fine right there.
No.
You're fine right there.
Call, please. 76
I grabbed the knife.
before the Britain Street exit ramp.
Body cam footage showed chaos. Sydney panicking, her mother on the floor, blood near the broken window. Officers gave first aid, called medical help, and found a knife and blood, revealing a terrifying night.
A truck lost concrete.
This is minor. They might have a more, I don't know. Check that victim in there. She's got cuts on her hands. I don't know what they have in there, but there's a female down in there. It's pretty bad up there. What's your name, ma'am? Sorry, what's your name again? She's got cuts on her hands.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Take care of her.
That scream from Sydney, it's haunting. You can feel her world collapsing in those moments. As a parent, hearing there's so much blood would break me. It's not just a crime scene. It's a family's worst nightmare unfolding in real time. How does a quiet welfare check turn into this?
Dave, I think this is, are you dad?
Yeah, I'm the dad.
Can you stay here with them?
We have another, I'll call for another med unit for her.
Somebody was my wife.
12.
12.
Can you start another med unit on here? We have a female constantly breathing, cuts to her hands.
Copy.
You said your name's Sydney? Ma'am, is your name Sydney? What's your last name?
No.
No, he's in Talmadge. Yes, I talked to him.
What is it? Powell. What's your date of birth? Huh?
Yeah.
What's your date of birth?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have another one
no.
coming.
No, but somebody's got to take.
I have another med unit coming.
All right, you got some gloves? I got some.
He repeatedly tried to reach them. Life 360 showed Sydney and her mother in unusual locations. Anxiety grew as each signal hinted that something serious was happening at home, intensifying his fear.
There was a break-in, and she just started going off. There's been somebody broke into the house. There's blood everywhere. And I'm like, stop. And then that's when I called that part. I mean, I'm sure there was conversations after that, but I'm not going to remember the detail. She was hysterical and crying. I called G back and said, I don't know what I told you. I don't know if I said it was legit or it's the cops on the way. There's been a break-in, and I left. Drove home and saw.
So at first, when you talked to her, she said that your wife was on the phone with Mom.
Yes. And as soon as I said cops are on the way, the hysterics started.
Is she still attending?
Well, as far as we knew up until today, yes, but apparently not for the last, maybe couple weeks. Because I tried to get on, this was a couple weeks ago, I tried to get on the website I like to check the balance, and she's been coming home on and off on the weekends a little, just odd, little frequently. Never seemed odd for sorts, she acted perfectly normal. But she came back, and I'm like questioning, well, why aren't you at school? Why are you coming home? And, it's all the same, just, the vague non-answers. And so she turned off her Life 360 app. But I think on that app, you can't see where she's going. You can kind of see highlights of where the phone was. Well, I'm kind of looking, I'm like, well, you're not where you're supposed to be. This is kind of weird. So I called her on it, and I said, Mom, because I went on, so then I tried to go on the Mount Union website, and I figured, I was going to see if there's anything on that. Parents only have so much,
Right.
I'm willing to pay the bill and everything, but if you want to find anything about it, you're out of luck.
Right.
So, but I figured I'm going to try. So I sign on, it says your password or login or password ID doesn't work. I'm like, well, that's weird. So I recover my password, and I put in the right answer, and it didn't work. And I did that a few times, and I texted her back and said, something's not working. What's wrong? She comes up with something that says the website's down, basically, and but I'm working on it. So a few days pass later. Nothing seems out of the ordinary until maybe it was today, I tried to get back on. Well, Mount Union calls me today because I sent them an email that says, my user ID is this, my ID is this, my password's not working, my recovery answer won't work, and I know where I was born, I know my car.
Trying to understand, he discovered Sydney had unenrolled and couldn't access the school system. When he confronted her, she cried, overwhelmed by school pressure, revealing family stress before the tragic events unfolded.
And it does, when you type in your recovery email, the system just, it didn't recognize. You can't get on. Long story short, your daughter's unenrolled. So I went, what's going on? So I text Sydney. I'm like, give me a call. I have a question to ask you. I call her, no answer. I say, give me a call, I have a question to ask you. And I look on that little Life 360 app, and her car was at home. I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. So I leave my phone at home so she can't track me. I said, well, but that's all part of it. Nobody's going to tell you you need to do what you're doing when you're 20. You need to figure it out. But you have to work through the problem. You can't just ignore the problem and have it go away.
I'm sorry, when did you have that conversation?
Today, like 11:30. I don't remember. Yeah, it was. I left work because it was before lunch. It was maybe around 11, because I was probably there from 11 to 11:30. So from her phone call. So that's what I said. My recommendation is call the school back, call the student union, get reinstated, and then if you have to take the summer off, take the summer off. Figure out what you want. She was going to take a summer class because she changed a couple majors, and that's what she was. All my friends have their shit together, and I don't. I said, well, I'm 54 and I don't have my shit together. That, don't look at it that way. You need to work the problem. You can't just have the problem sit there and ignoring it is not going to do you any good. So I went back, I called my wife from my daughter's phone. She picks up, she was working down in Children's. And she goes, what's wrong? And I basically told her, I said, I'm in Sydney. I think the reason we can't get on is because she's unenrolled. She hasn't been going to school. She goes, well, and then we talked to Jill, her boss, and says, I'll see if I can come home. So I left. On the way home, I either on my way back to work or when I'm at work, I call Brenda and she's like, well, I'm just pulling in now.
The dad's panic over Life 360 and Sydney's lies about school hit me hard. I've been there, sensing something's off with someone you love, but not knowing how bad it is. It's chilling to think Sydney was unraveling under pressure, and no one saw the explosion coming.
So I let it go, and then I get a text from Brenda that says, she says something to the effect of she was on the phone waiting for someone from Student Affairs to call me back. And that was at 12:36. She said, how much was the check that they're returning? Because Mount Union told me too before with the phone conversation, we're returning your check. I'm like, nobody would return a check.
Sydney's father repeatedly called Brenda and Sydney, but no one answered. When Sydney finally called back, she was panicked. He rushed home, heart heavy, a sense of danger looming over the house.
So I texted her back at 12:36, and I said I had no idea. It was electronic. I said, check on the scholarship too, make sure she didn't lose that at 12:37. At 12:39, I got on the bank account and I said, maybe. I go, $5,435. And then at 12:41, what did you discuss with her? And that was it. 12:41 was the last, and I don't know how to tell what time I got his call. Recent. Been 12:54. 12:54 seems like it, because then I called, maybe it was a little before that. Maybe it was 12:51. That sounds maybe right. What is it? 3. So at 12:49 I called, and I think it went to Brenda. I don't know. 12:51 a call from Jeep, and at 12:52 I called Brenda. 12:53 I called Sydney. 12:53 I called Brenda. 12:54 I called Jeep and said there's no answer. So I don't know. So I called Jeep and said there's no answer. Then while I'm on the phone with Jeep, Sydney calls back, and that was that conversation.
Christy?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Crystal.
Hi.
How are you?
Okay.
Christy's Miranda.
Hi. So then that was it. Then after that, then I left once I talked to Sydney, and I hightailed it home. No. Go where I need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's.
So how long has she been acting funny?
Just been a couple weeks. I mean, yeah, maybe. I don't remember when she came home that first time, kind of out of the blue, but that was.
She said she was stressed out.
She told me that today. That she was overwhelmed.
Is she on any medication?
Nope. No.
Did she ever try marijuana?
Entering the house, he saw blood along the hallway, a broken window, and scattered belongings. Horror intensified as he learned Brenda Powell had died from severe injuries, confirming a tragic homicide.
I don't know. I didn't think she drank until the first time she drank, and then I think she
How long ago was
realized
that?
it was last year. It was her freshman year, and I'm sure she does. I'm not going to be, I'm not going to say she doesn't, but I don't think it was ever a problem. But not an expert in that field.
Has she ever had any psychological problems?
No. She's always been, shy and, reserved, and that was always the problem is, she never says anything. So Brenda said she didn't realize she was having her period until tampons were missing. Excuse my language. So that's just the kind of person that she was. It was all, internalized, and that's what I told her now. I said, look, nobody can help you if you don't tell what the problem is.
Did she say anything else about the breaking or anything like that?
Just hysterics. Said there was a break-in and there was blood everywhere, and where's your mother? And she's just nothing.
What did your doctor say?
Nothing. I don't, but this does.
Yeah, you're probably like me.
I don't know. I know mine. Oh, here it is. 3-3. I made it in far enough to see the back fin. When you go into the front door, you come around the kitchen, you go in, you can see there's like a pass-through between the kitchen and the family room. From the back of the house, I could see the right hand, there's 2 big sliding windows. I could see that window was clearly, it looked like it was busted, and the blinds they looked like they were pushed in. Went down the hallway probably about 2 feet, just didn't see blood all the way down the hallway, and then somebody because I was yelling and there was no response from it.
Now, the back door, sliding door, do you guys use that at all?
No. There's a couch in front of me. We do in the summer, when the couches move, the love seats usually move from the sliding doors here, the couches you move over to like this area, and we move back out that back door for the patio and stuff.
And that's locked.
Uh-huh.
Do you have like a safety?
There's a lock and there's a lock on the bottom of it too.
Okay.
And the sliding glass one, there's a lock, but I don't sure the button wasn't
On the window?
Yeah, the window. There's sliding windows is what was busted open.
Seeing the father walk into that blood-streaked hallway, my heart sank. Losing a spouse like that, knowing your kid's involved. Unimaginable. It makes me wonder how hidden stress can turn a loving daughter into someone capable of this. Where did it all break?
Right, that's all.
Okay, yeah, there's the sliding door that we haven't used it since last probably fall. Once we got our Christmas tree on Thanksgiving, we moved the couch out of the way, put the tree in that corner.
Investigators turned to friends and family to understand motives. Sydney's best friend, Lauren, was brought in to shed light on her personality and the psychological pressures Sydney faced before the incident.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
If you sure you don't want anything to drink, or?
I'm good, I promise.
Hi, this is my partner. This is Detective Bertina
How are
King.
you?
I'm good, how are you? Thanks
Looks like I've seen you before, though.
Maybe.
You ever come here to see your dad?
I did when he retired.
Okay.
I haven't been here often.
So, Laura, first of all, thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
We know that this whole thing's difficult for you, and you're trying to make sense of it, and so are we. We're just talking to you about what you know, not about what you've heard or anything.
Okay.
Just trying to find out as much as we can, so we can, kind of make sense of this ourselves. So if you want a break or anything, just let us know. But why don't we start off with, tell us about Sydney. How did you, when did you first meet, and how long have you known each other?
I've known Sydney for 6 years. We met the first day of summer gym in high school. and then we were best friends ever since. Very close.
And what are you doing now?
I'm at school.
Okay, where do you go to school at?
I go to the University of Mount Union.
Okay. And what year are you in there?
I'm a sophomore.
Now, we understand that Sydney was your roommate at Mount Union?
Yes, she was for last year and then this year until she left.
So how did that work? Did you both plan on going to Mount Union, or? Okay.
Yeah, she liked it first, and I was like, I don't know. And then I visited there, and I was like, oh yeah, this is the place to be. And then when we both got accepted, we were like, oh, we're definitely being roommates.
And so you've been friends ever since your freshman year at St. B?
Mm-hmm.
Go over each other's houses, everything like that?
Yep.
Okay. So what are you studying at Mount Union?
Education.
Education?
Yes.
And what was Sydney taking?
Well, she started off in exercise science freshman year, her first semester, but then she didn't like the classes, so she switched over to psychology and sociology, but then she didn't really like that, so this year she switched to education, and then she didn't like that either, and that's one of the reasons she left, is because she really couldn't find what she liked, so she was trying to figure it out.
So tell us about the time you spent together at Mount Union. You said that she really wasn't couldn't find something that she was interested in.
I think her most interest was psychology, like learning about that stuff. But other than just like hanging out with her friends, like educational wise, it was kind of hard for her, I think.
Where did you stay at there? Where do you stay at?
Freshman year we were in a dorm room, and then this year we were in a suite, so it's like a dorm room but like two, so we had like neighbors, and we shared a bathroom.
Investigators turned to friends and family to understand motives. Sydney's best friend, Lauren, was brought in to shed light on her personality and the psychological pressures Sydney faced before the incident.
But it's actually like Mount Union housing. It's not like a separate apartment or anything.
It's not union housing.
So it's just you and Sydney?
Mm-hmm.
And now, were there some other groups of students that you hung around with frequently? Neighbors of yours?
Yeah, so like I said, our suite mates, which was Alyssa, who was a cheerleader with me, and then our friend Brittany, who lives in like the townhouses, so she didn't live with us, but she was really close with us because she was in our sorority together, and she was also a cheerleader.
Now, was Sydney in that same sorority?
Yes.
What sorority is that?
Alpha Chi Omega.
Now, do they have a separate house on campus there, or how does that work?
So they do have a house on it, but they only have like one apartment, so you can't really live there.
So it's Alpha Chi
Omega.
Omega?
Yeah.
And did you both join together, or how did that go?
So we both went through recruitment together, and we both did the same sorority.
What attracted you to that sorority?
The girls, the vibe that they gave off, like everything that they stood for.
And what was that? Tell us about that.
Their well, I think the girls are just really nice in general, but the philanthropy they stand for is the Domestic Violence Shelter of Alliance, and even though I've never been like in any of those like situations, I think that was a good cause.
Okay. So you didn't. There's no actual house, but there's everybody just belonged to the sorority and just stayed at different their dorms. Is that?
Yeah.
How often did you get together with those girls?
Every Sunday we have chapter, which is like kind of like the meetings, and if we had events, we were with them. So anytime we had an event or on Sunday chapters, so often.
So when you first got to Mount Union, how did it go for Sydney? Did she seem to be? I mean, you mentioned that she didn't really, find a niche as far as what she wanted to study. But I mean, did she ever talk to you about her classes and how that's going, or did you share that with each other?
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about classes a lot because we did homework together a lot. I think she was like I said, I think she struggled in her classes. I don't think her grades were the best, but she didn't really tell me that because I wasn't really struggling. But I think you could tell, kind of, especially at the end, that she just wasn't like doing her best. In high school, she was very like good grades and everything, so I think it was kind of a shock for her not to be to struggle, I think, a little bit.
I think it's like a study habit thing, because it's a big difference from college to...
I think so, because like in high school sometimes you can procrastinate a little bit, and in college you definitely can't.
Lauren said Sydney's anxiety worsened last semester, especially in January. Confusion over classes, housing, and forms stressed her, leaving her withdrawn and unsure about her plans.
So she just wasn't, did it seem like, how did this like kind of change affect her? I mean, did it affect her moods at all? Did she seem concerned about it? Or tell us about that.
I think she kept a lot of stuff hidden, because when we were just talking or with our friends, she always seemed happy. Like, she seemed okay, like I said, I couldn't tell. Until the end, where she was kind of just like struggling, and she kind of was sad, and just like, Lauren, I don't know what to do. I'm like, well, you just need to find what makes you happy, and like, just, you need to find what you like to do. And I don't know, I think it did make her a little upset, because she was confused, because I think she felt like everybody around her kind of had figured out what they wanted to do, and she hadn't.
So when do you think that it really started affecting her? That, like, look, this is, I'm really having problems, and this is, I have to, I mean, look, I don't want to put words in your mouth. Tell us when you think that it really started affecting her, like, often.
Like her anxiety? Well, I know she's had anxiety for a while, but I think those this last semester, like starting coming back in January, is when it really started, that she was kind of more like upset, because she really didn't know what she wanted to do, and she didn't like her classes, because that's when she started the education classes, and like, my friends and I were worried for her, because we didn't know what was going on, because she didn't tell us, and like, there was problems with like housing or something, just like, we shared a room and had like put names on the doors, and her name wasn't on it when we got back, and we were confused about that. And she said it's because they messed up, because she didn't sign the forms right or something, but it kind of never got fixed. And then she left. And my friends and I were just worried, because we didn't even know if she got any books for her classes. Like, we were trying to ask her questions like that, and like, she's like, no, I have books and I have stuff for my classes. But like, I do homework all the time, and I don't think I saw her doing a lot of homework the last couple of weeks. So I think this last semester, this January, part when she was there, kind of affected her most.
So, had you hung out over the Christmas break?
Yeah.
And what was she talking about then? Was she talking about the next semester, or did you guys talk about school at all?
I don't think we talked about school. Maybe living situations, because for like junior year, we were talking about living in the townhouses and like what we were gonna need. So I think we were talking about living situations, but like school-wise and class-wise, I don't think so.
After Christmas break, Sydney's name wasn't on her dorm door and her key didn't work. She met with Resident Life to fix it, but eventually decided not to stay, worrying her friends.
So when you came back from Christmas break, you didn't see her name on the door.
Yeah.
And when did she come back?
She came back the same day.
Same day?
Yeah.
Did you come together?
No.
Okay.
No, she came in her own car.
And so take us through again, her name wasn't on the door.
Yeah.
And how did...
So I guess the dorm people do that?
Yeah, so the RAs do that.
Okay.
And so we were like, oh, what happened? Like, maybe you should go ask the RA, because people were asking, like, why is her name on the door? I'm like, I don't know. So she was kind of hesitant to ask the RA, so that's when we were kind of just like, what's going on? Like, my sweet mate, Alyssa, and I were asking, like, oh, what's going on? And Sydney's just said that when she signed out the forms wrong, so she was meeting with residents, like, a lot in the last couple weeks to kind of figure out, like, to get her stuff back, because then when her name wasn't on the door, her dorm key, like the thing we get into the dorm building, it stopped working. And so, but then it started working again, because she went over to Res Life and they turned it back on. So I don't know what happened, really, but that's all she said.
So it wasn't, so when she got there, it didn't work, and then she went and talked to them.
Yeah.
And then, so is this like, so the key is the outside door, and then you have to use one for the inside door?
No, so there's Yeah, well, kind of. There's a key card, like our Mount Union ID, and that's when you swipe in, like you can get into the building.
Okay.
And then there's the actual key for the room. The swiper wasn't working. The key swiper wasn't working. So I think she just told us that she didn't fill like the housing form out. Like this, when we had to come back, we had to fill out a form saying we're coming back, and she said she signed something off wrong. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what she told us. And then she just, like I said, she met with Friends Life a lot, like a couple weeks trying to get them figured out so she could, like, because she was staying, and then she ultimately decided not to stay, and so she had to return her key and stuff.
So when she got her stuff working again, how was it like day to day? I mean, was she leaving the dorm? Was she coming back?
Yeah.
And what were you thinking about that at that time?
I was confused because we've told each other everything for a long time, so I was confused in the sense I didn't know what was happening, and I was just like, she could trust me, she could tell me if something was wrong, I want to help her, but she didn't really tell us anything. Like, she didn't tell Alyssa anything either, or Brittany. She did go to class, so she was leaving the building, but usually her and I were together because our classes were similar. So we'd be coming back at the same time. But I saw her use her key, but like I'd use my key too. But yeah, we were together most of the time, coming back from class.
Sydney mostly stayed in the dorm when not in class.
Lauren's words about Sydney's anxiety paint such a tragic picture. College is supposed to be about finding yourself, but for Sydney, it was a pressure cooker. I feel for her loss in expectations, bottling it all up. It's a stark reminder. We need to check on the quiet ones.
She seemed sad and hesitant to share her struggles. Eventually, she decided to leave to take a break and figure out her next steps.
Do you have any of the same classes?
We had the same class, but not at the same time.
Did you actually know for sure if she was actually physically in the classroom?
She told us she was, and I mean, she was, like, we both had French class, and she was doing her French homework with me, so I knew she was doing stuff with the same class, but I don't know if she was in
Okay. Was there any, like you mentioned Alyssa and Brittany, any other, like maybe the sorority sisters in any of her classes?
No, but she was also close to a girl named Audrey. She was in our sorority, but she was also a cheerleader. A lot of her friends were my friends, because I'm a cheerleader, so she hung out with a lot of the people I hung out with.
So you don't know if she was actually ever sitting in a seat in a classroom?
I can't tell you that, no, because we had classes at the same time. And if we didn't have class at the same time, it was because I was in a class and she was in a study room, because she didn't have class at that time.
What was she doing? I mean, was she at the dorm room a lot, or how can you describe for us what she was doing when she was not in class or supposed to be in class?
When she wasn't in class, if she was waiting for me, she'd wait in the study room. So like Mount Union has like rooms that you can study in. So she'd wait for me until I get out of class, and then we'd go do stuff together. But if she'd not, she'd be in the dorm room in her bed on her laptop.
Did you notice any change in her mood? Was she talking about anything,
or? I could tell she was getting more upset, like more sad. And I told her, I was like, I'm here, like, you can tell me, I'm here for you. If you need anything, I'm here. But she never really opened up until she was leaving and saying that she was struggling with school and that she was kind of trying to figure out what was going on. And that's when I started to try to help her. And then she ultimately decided to leave, which I thought would maybe be good for her, just to get her mind off the rest of the semester and then come back and go to Akron or something the next following fall semester, kind of hoping that would help her.
So when was that night conversation, as opposed to when she left?
That conversation, maybe a week before she left, a week or so before, saying we were talking about it. We were just like, I was like, well, Sydney, I understand if you might have to take classes or summer classes. If you want to come back to Mount, I'm all for it. Like, we love you and we want you here. But like, I understand if you go home, like, my friends and I talked about this without Sydney too, but if she goes home and she just needs to go to Akron just to be at home, just to be somewhere where she can maybe try to find a new work ethic and something that makes her want to go to class, we're all for it. And she's like, I appreciate that. I really want to come back to Mount. That's like where all my friends are. That's where I want to learn, even if I'm a semester behind. That was kind of what she said.
Lauren described Sydney's strong bond with her parents. Decisions about leaving school were made together, especially with her mom. She maintained a positive relationship with both parents.
So when did she actually leave? Can you put a day on that, something that reminds you of when she actually left?
The Tuesday before the incident. The week before.
A week before?
Yeah,
Is that the last time you actually saw her?
I saw her the Monday before the incident happened. That week she came back to Mount to watch The Bachelor with me and my friends at my friend's townhouse. She came over.
Did she stay where she was staying after she left, or what did you believe? Where did you believe she was staying?
She told us she was home. And she left. We watched The Bachelor, and then she left to go back home. And she texted us when she came home.
Like I made her home?
Yeah, like she made it home.
Okay. So you think that before this happened, she'd been at the house a week?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she leaves about a week before the incident, then you're thinking she's at home?
Yeah.
And then she came back to
No.
just that Monday?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Lauren, let's talk about this. You're her best friend, and I know this is difficult, but tell us about her relationship with her parents.
Her and her parents had a really good relationship. Like, her mom and her were best friends. Probably, like, they did everything together. Like, one of the reasons she went home was to be with her mom. They were always close. She never said anything bad about her mom. She never ever talked about having an argument with her mom. Like, I can't recall every time she'd be going home, she's like, I can't wait to see my mom. Or when she goes home for weekends, she'd be like, oh, my mom wants me to come home so we can hang out and like watch movies. And she loved being home. And she had a good relationship with her dad too. Like, I know that her and her dad liked to watch like Star Wars together, and he always like cooked food at the house. Like, he liked cooking, and she'd always talk about how good his food was and what they would get each other for Christmas and things about spring break. Like, she loved being home with her family.
So when she's talking to you about the problems she's having at school, did she mention that she tried talking to her parents at all, or that they were going to have that they were involved in her future plans at all?
Yeah, I know she definitely, especially when she left, she talked to her mom about leaving. They kind of made that decision together to leave Mount.
A week before the incident, Sydney packed her belongings and left the dorm. She visited friends Monday night, acted normally, laughed, and mentioned working jobs. She drank occasionally, once needing hospital care after drinking too much.
Like, she told them that. She didn't tell them for a while, but I knew when everything kind of built up, she was telling them how she was struggling in school. And then when she left, I know that was a decision between like her and her parents, kind of mutual type decision.
Now, when you say that she told them and it was like a mutual decision, is that her telling you that? Mm-hmm. Is that her telling you that she
told me that she talked to her parents and they decided that it would be best for her to just not finish the rest of the semester.
So as far as you know, based on what Sydney was telling you, she was discussing this situation. Did you think her parents knew based on what she told you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You never ever talked to the parents, all right?
Mm-hmm. No, I haven't seen her parents in a while.
So you last saw her, which would have been like a week before the incident, and then had she removed all her things, or what about, did you get the impression that she was moving out at that point for good?
When she told me that Tuesday morning, we woke up and she was talking, she's like, I need to tell you something. My family and I decided that it'd be better to take the rest of the semester off, and I have to leave today. And then she like packed up all of her stuff and kind of told all of her friends, and then she left that Tuesday with all of her stuff, all of her bedding, all of her clothes, all of her items.
And that was a Tuesday before the incident happened.
Yes, yes,
And then she drives up to see you the Monday night before.
yes, yes.
Did she say anything that day when you were watching The Bachelor, or how did that? Did you ask how she was doing, or tell us about that?
Yeah, we asked her how she was doing, and she said she was good. Like, she acted like what we would see as normal. Like, she was laughing, she was having fun. She said she got jobs because she worked at the Akron Rubber Ducks. She's worked there for a couple seasons, so she was gonna go back there. And then she also said she was looking for another job, and like everything was good, and she was trying to figure out like for next year and all this stuff. And she was gonna talk to her parents about housing, trying to come back to Mount. That was her main. And she seemed fine. Like, she seemed completely, like I said, she was laughing, and we were goofing off and doing girl stuff and everything like that.
When she's, once you got to Mount Union, or anytime actually, did Sydney ever drink alcohol at all, or she did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just kind of describe that for us. I mean, we've all been college age, so, and
No. I don't usually like drink a lot, and if I do, it's one. But she liked to drink. There was an incident in the fall of our freshman year where she drank too much, and she wasn't alcohol poisoned, but she did end up in the hospital.
Sydney once drank too much and ended up in the hospital. Her mom picked her up. Her friends mostly stayed in the dorm or sorority circle. No drugs or medications were used.
And her mom came and got her at like 2 in the morning, but she did end up in the hospital that day because she drank like mixed drinks and drank too much. But usually after that, her and I worked together, and if she did drink, I usually kind of like slow her down after kind of her limit because she's small, so kind of near her limit. But she did drink.
What situation was that in? Was that like just like a party or something, or?
I was in the dorm room watching movies because I didn't want to go out. So she went out with some other of her friends. I wasn't really close with them. I was close with one of them, but not the rest. And I got a call around like 11 saying Sydney was at a party and she was throwing up and she just wasn't good, and to come pick her up. So I kind of went and got her, and then she wasn't feeling good, and so I brought her back to the dorm, and she wouldn't get out of the car, and I had guys with me trying to help, and then the RA came out, and the RA called campus security, and the campus security called the ambulance, and then she was taken to the hospital.
Did she have any friends that like wasn't in your friend circle there, like friends that she had maybe made on her own that you're aware of?
Not really, because usually she was either in the dorm or hanging out with us or sorority girls, but I knew all the sorority girls too, that they were my friends. We had a lot of the same friends.
So her circle of friends pretty much consisted of the sorority girls that you were in and some of the cheerleaders that she met through you.
Yeah.
Had you ever seen her taking any drugs or anything, or any medications for nothing? Nothing at all? Is there anything that you know of that, did you hear from anybody else that she might have done that? Have you ever heard anything like that?
No, I know.
So, what is your phone number? What phone number do you have, Lauren?
3.
You guys text a lot?
We did, yeah.
Okay.
So you mentioned an Allison?
Audrey.
Oh, I'm sorry, Audrey. Do you know Audrey's phone number off the top of your head?
No.
How about Brittany?
I'd have to look at my phone.
I know you just probably keep them in contact.
Yeah.
So did you said after she left, she got all her stuff and left about a week before. What kind of contact did you have with her during that week? Did you talk to her at all over the phone?
Not really, because we kind of wanted to give her a week just to settle in with her house. We asked her how she was doing. I called her.
Lauren stayed in contact with Sydney after she left, mainly texts. Sydney visited Monday night to watch The Bachelor, acted normally, and sent TikTok videos. She had a brief boyfriend who cheated on her.
I called her, but she didn't answer because she was in the shower. And then I text her, and I was just making sure. I was like, oh, I just want to make sure you were okay. And then we talked a little bit, and then she asked if she could come over that Monday for the bachelor, and I was like, oh, of course, like, we'd love to have you. Like, we want you here. And then she came over, and then she texted me, I'm home, and then we'll text like videos to each other. So she sent me a video that night too, and that was kind of like the last of it.
What kind of video?
A TikTok video.
Did she have any boyfriends or any guy friends that she met at Mount Union or back here?
We hung out with fraternity guys, and like she had the same guy friends I did. She did have a boyfriend from about like December before break until January when she came back.
So, was that like a month or so?
Yeah, very short.
Do you know his name?
Dom. Yeah.
So what made it break up?
He cheated on her on New Year's.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll make you happy.
No, yeah. So yeah, they broke up.
How did she find out that happened?
I had friends at the party that called me and told me, and then I told her.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had to break the news to her.
Yep.
Did she ever, any, you mentioned that she had the drinking episode. Any kind of like breakdowns or anything, or you mentioned that, she had a hard time finding out what she wanted to do, what she studied, but any like real bad episodes that you can recall, anything like that?
I mean, not bad, like I've seen her cry, but not over like, I mean, I've seen her cry before over like just being stressed. I don't think she handled stress very well, so she cried over stuff sometimes when she got too stressed out. But other than that, not really.
The worst, how did you take the news about Dominic?
She was upset for like a while, but then she just kind of was just like, it's not meant to be, that's okay, and then she broke up with him.
Where's she from?
They have the words back and forth, or she just kind of like dumped him on text message?
Yeah, she dumped him over text. She was like, I found out, and she gave him a little bit to see if he'd tell her, and he never did.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, I kind of don't like that you never told me, so I just think we should end things now, because it's not going to work out.
Sydney experienced anxiety since high school, struggling with social situations and stress. College pressures and unclear academic goals worsened her anxiety and caused occasional tears.
Mm-hmm. So, you talked about her anxiety. Tell me more about that.
I think since high school, Sydney's been dealing with anxiety. Like I said, she doesn't deal with stress well, so she gets in, like, if she's stressed about something, she kind of gets a little worked up over it. She went through a period in high school, in her junior year, where she just was, like, almost social anxiety. Like, she didn't like to, like, talk to people other than, like, our friend group, or go out to, like, restaurants or stores. Like, she wouldn't want to talk to cashiers and stuff like that. We kind of helped her and pulled her out of it, and we kind of, she went to the counselor. So, like, Sydney went to the counselor, kind of talked about it, and it got better after that. Like, senior year, she was normal, like, I shouldn't say, but I think junior year, she definitely struggled with it. And then in college, I think it got worse again, just because, like I said, she didn't know what she wanted to do, and I don't think her grades were what she wanted them to be. So, like, when she was doing her grades and stuff, I think that kind of stressed her out, and that got her more upset when she couldn't figure out why she wasn't doing it.
Do you think that she talked to any counselors up there?
I don't think she talked to any counselors at Mount, because you'd have to go to the health center, which is across campus, and she never went there.
So when she's, did she, You mentioned that she was having problems with her grades. Did she ever talk to you about the university's feedback, like if she was on like probation or anything, or any official status that they changed with her? So you weren't aware of anything like that with her?
I know the reason I kind of found out is because in the sorority I got an executive position, or I was in a position to where I knew she couldn't do something because her grades, so she was academically for her grades in the sorority.
When would that have been?
That was
semester-wise?
That was last semester. I kind of found out about that because we have a thing called.
Which would have been the fall.
Yeah.
This past fall semester.
We have a thing called Big Little, where like the older girls get a new girl, and they kind of like their mentors, and she wasn't able to get one, I guess, because of her grades. So that's kind of when I found out, because I was in a minor position then, where I helped pick the Big Littles. So I was like in a position. I kind of found out because of that.
And how did she react when she was, when you talked to her about that?
Lauren learned Sydney had academic struggles through sorority responsibilities. Sydney initially blamed transcript errors, but later admitted she had bad grades. This affected her sorority participation.
Or did you talk to her about it?
I didn't bring it up until I was just like, hey, I know you can't get a little, and they said it's because of your academics. Is there anything like you want to talk about? She's like, they just messed up my transcript. Like, I didn't get as bad grades. I'm like, I don't really think that happens. But yeah, so she told me that they messed up her transcript. But then she came and told me the truth a little bit later that she did have bad grades.
And was that like this little thing? Was that like towards the beginning of the semester? Or
more towards the middle.
Towards the middle of the end. And that she did finally come forward and say that she was. Did she mention specifically what her grades were? Just said that she was having some problems.
And how do you find out that it was all bad? How do you find out about that?
When it was like all the grades were pretty bad.
Yeah.
I never really found out what they were exactly. She told me that she was like, I kind of have bad grades. My friend Brittany kind of struggled with grades a little bit, so she's the first one who kind of noticed that Sydney was struggling, because she had been in Sydney's position before, like her freshman and sophomore year, a little bit, so she kind of could tell, and she's the one who kind of like warned me, kind of talked to her about it, like just make sure she's okay.
It's like a probation thing, right? It kind of. And then, did you ever just know that she wasn't supposed to be there? Okay.
I never knew that. Maybe at the end she wasn't supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it kind of felt like. But I never knew. Really.
Because her name never appeared in the door, right?
Was there any RAs that ever came and physically checked your suite there? See if she was staying there?
After she left. But before that, they came to talk to her.
So who's they?
The RA. She came and talked to her, and then Red Light was also coming and talking to her. They coming and asked for her, and she talked to them.
Do you know how many days before she left would that have been, or was it weeks or days?
It was weeks, like throughout the weeks that she was there, kind of on and off.
And then that night that you saw her, did she make plans like to see you again?
We were gonna hang out. We were gonna try to hang out again soon, like over a weekend or something, but not like official or not specific plans, I guess.
Okay. You don't come home on the weekends all the time?
I come home sometimes, but not often. But I knew because spring break was coming up, I was going to Florida, so we were making plans probably to see each other after spring break.
So, like back here in Akron, was there anybody that like you went to school with, or she at St. V, really good friends with, that she would spend time with when she was back home? Who would have been?
Sydney's social circle mainly included school friends. She rarely contacted people back home. She had a normal relationship with her brother and supported his activities. She never formally diagnosed her anxiety, but referred to it as such.
If she would have, it would have been either a kid who goes to Akron, his name's Lewis, but I don't think she ever contacted him, because he didn't even know she left until I told him. So I don't know if she ever contacted him. And then we had another foster cat. Her name's Emma. And I don't know if she contacted her either.
What's Emma's last name? Did she go to St. Pete?
She did.
So what about social media and stuff like that? Any social media she had?
She had Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter.
So does any of that did any of that ever look weird, dark, anything to you?
She never posted anything, so not
Okay.
really, no.
Okay.
Any guy friends that were back here in Akron that she hung out with?
Not really, no. When she was here, she usually was hanging out with her family. Like, her close friends were kind of the ones at school.
What's your relationship with the brother like?
They had, I think, like a normal sibling relationship. Like, they love each other and they'll do anything for each other. They also, brother and sister argue and stuff like that. So I think it was pretty relatively normal. Like, she loved her brother. She told me that all the time. Like, we talk about, like, I talk about Steven, she talked about Andrew. Like, pretty normal. She liked to go to her brother's soccer games and his lacrosse games. She liked supporting him.
Was she playing in any like intramural soccer up at Mount Union or anything like that?
Mm-hmm.
Was she playing any back here in Akron? So Lauren, what haven't we asked you? Is there something that you think that we need to know, or something you think that we might think is important that's weighing on your mind?
I think you guys have asked a lot of good questions. I think you've gotten a lot of the main things. Like, just definitely, she has had anxiety.
You know, if she ever went to a doctor, got diagnosed for it or anything like that? Did she call it, like, I guess I would say that's like, to me, like a serious word to call something.
Anxiety?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess this society, day and age, words kind of get.
Right. That's why I was wondering, like, did she ever say, I went to a doctor and they said, I have anxiety, and then we just kind of carried it on like that?
No, she never said anything about going to a doctor. I don't know if it was diagnosed. But I knew, like, we would call it, like, anxiety, I guess, even if it's just a small term for it. Or a term we just use because it's used a lot. She was stressed a lot, I guess you could say. Yeah.
Lauren shared that Sydney often felt stressed and anxious. Upon hearing the news about Sydney's mom, Lauren was shocked and could only provide emotional support. Family and friends were sad but supportive. Sydney used a personal card or cash.
And then, when it all goes bad, all of this, so how do you find out something bad happened to her mom?
So I know that I got called into my coach's office because the dean or somebody came in, and I was called into my coach's office, and they told me that something happened at the Powell residence, and then people were going to the hospital, but they just didn't know what happened. The dispute happened, and then my dad was coming to give me a suitcase, and so then my dad kind of told me.
Oh, did you guys go in Florida next
Yeah.
day or that? Yeah, because I remember him being here that day, like the next day or something.
2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was the next day.
Yeah.
It was the next day, yeah. It was, yeah. He kind of told me what happened. And my mom passed away, and kind of part of it.
So how did you feel about that? What were you thinking?
I was shocked just because, like I said, Sydney and her mom were so close, and I kind of just was like, what do you mean? I think I was shocked and confused for a lot of it. And then I kind of, when I was on vacation, kind of figured that this happened. That something happened with her mom and her. And I don't know what, but I'm really like, I can't really help other than tell you guys what I know, I guess. I knew I can't do anything other than just be there for Sydney.
Did it shock you?
Yeah, it shocked me. I kind of was just kind of, I was just like, no, kind of like, maybe didn't believe it at first. I was like, no, Sydney and her mom, like, maybe something else happened, somebody else was there, but obviously that wasn't the case. So I was just really shocked about it.
Have you talked to anybody in her family since this happened?
We talked to her dad just like we sent flowers to the funeral, so he kind of thanked us and just was making sure we were okay. Basically, he was just making sure we were okay. We were making sure, like we said, if they need anything, we would be there for them, kind of that type of situation.
What about the other girls that are friends with Sydney? How are they?
They're okay. I think giving that week of spring break kind of let everybody kind of digest what happened. Like, we were all really upset that day or night. You know, I wasn't there on campus, but the campus sent an email that Tuesday or that Wednesday. I wasn't there, but I heard everybody was talking about it, and it was kind of upsetting for some of the people that were her friends. Because they were just confused because so many people loved her and never would have saw this coming. Not at all. Never would have saw this coming. So it was just a big shock to everyone. But like I said, having that week and now I think not being at school because of the coronavirus has given everybody time just to like heal and kind of digest what happened.
Lauren described the confusing, sad days after the incident. She could only share what she knew about Sydney and offer support. Police gave her a card to report unusual info. Lauren studies education and coaches freshman cheer, balancing classes and football games.
So has anybody said anything like, we have negative naysayers?
Yes.
Anybody say anything bad? Like, news, this would happen, she got some, whatever, anything bad?
Not to me.
Okay.
Everything that I've, like, people, my friends have texted me, and people in my sorority, and it's all been very positive to me. During that week on spring break, I kind of turned off all my notifications for social media, so, like, I didn't see anything, or I didn't want to, kind of type of thing, just to kind of heal and not, but, I know from my friend that people were saying mean things on her social media page, her Instagram, because it was public. My friend told me that. I didn't go read it. But
is it Sydney Powell?
Yes. Okay. I heard there was negative comments on her Instagram page about her, but like I said, I didn't read it. But everything I saw that people text me and stuff was just positive, saying that they're here for us and they love us, and just kind of that type of situation.
You guys are like, so what are you doing now? Just online?
Yeah, online classes.
Are you guys back now for spring break, technically? Or?
So we had Monday and Tuesday off, and then yesterday started online classes, but I'm just living at home because they shut down our dorms. You can't live in the dorms anymore.
I have a question. How did she usually, I know, like, when you're at school, you get that card and everything, but did she pay for stuff with cash, or if it wasn't her, like, university card at the university facilities, if you went out, to a restaurant or something, how would she normally pay? If you know.
Either cash, or she'd get a debit card, or one of us would pay and she'd like Venmo type. She'd Venmo, we'd Venmo. That was kind of how it was. So either cash or her debit card.
So she did have an individual debit card?
Okay.
Most of the food is, you guys eat off campus, or you guys like a kitchen and you do stuff at home?
So there's a cafeteria, and then we have in our school a cafe. It's called the B&B, where you can use your dining dollars there and make money. But if not, it was at a restaurant or at our friend's townhouse, which they had a full-size kitchen, so we could.
Sydney secretly dropped out of college, clashed with her mom over academics. The argument escalated. She attacked her mom with a cast iron pan and a knife, causing 30-plus wounds. She was charged with 2 counts of murder and other related crimes. Her lawyer claimed undiagnosed mental illness.
How do you feel about
I'm okay now. The first couple days where I was kind of sad and just confused and shocked, but like I said, I kind of realized that the only thing I can do is kind of tell you guys what happened in my kind of like what I know about her, and just know that I know Sydney, or knew Sydney, how she was, and that's all I can do is just support her and try to help as much as I can. Kind of that type of situation. Just I knew that there was nothing I could have done right now, or that situation I wasn't there. I don't know what happened, so all I can do is just be there.
You think we haven't asked you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, Lauren, if you think of something, I'm going to give her my card. Your dad knows how to get a hold of us, but I'm going to give you my card. And if there's something that maybe you say, I wish I would have told Detective King, kind of win that, or anything at all, or I should ask you, do you have any questions for us? Or I know there's probably a million things, but okay, I'm going to give you my card.
She's like, no.
And if you, like I said, if you think of something, or somebody says something and contacts you either through Instagram, whatever, says something that's really unusual, I don't know what that would be, but if there's something that sticks out to you, or just get a hold of us, okay?
I will.
Or they can call us.
So what are you studying? What are you studying?
Education.
Okay, so you're going to teach.
Little kids. I bet you little bitty baby kids too, right?
Now you coached. You were coaching in the fall, or it's back at St. Pete too, right?
Yeah, I coach. I'm the freshman cheer coach at St. Pete.
So you had time to do that in addition to cheering at the football games and everything?
Yeah, so I would go to class Monday through Wednesday, and then Thursday I'd go back home and coach the football games.
Wow.
And then I'd cheer myself on Saturday. Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to walk you back down, and appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
The jury found Sidney guilty of murder, felonious assault, and tampering with evidence. The judge sentenced her to 15 years to life. The case closed a tragic story, revealing meticulous
15 years to life for a 20-year-old. It's heavy. Sidney's story isn't just about murder. It's about mental health ignored, family bonds strained, and choices that can't be undone. I'm left wondering, could someone have caught her pain earlier? This case breaks your heart for everyone involved.